So there's a grief that comes along with coming out later in life. It doesn't have anything to do with fear or selfishness or anything like that. It has to do with the fact that when you come out later in life, you're not in a vacuum. Odds are you've already built a life with someone else. But in order for you to step out into your true self, you're going to have to devastate them. And that's what you're going to grieve. You're going to grieve that life that you lived before. You're going to have to mourn the death of all the thoughts and the future that was promised between you and this other person. You're going to have to grieve their loss, just as they're going to grieve yours. You're going to have to disassemble a life that you purposely put together. Because if you don't, it's going to destroy you. You see, there's no winner in this. There's no outcome that is even for both sides. There's no clean way of doing this. The worst part about it is you're the one that has to pull the pin. Nobody else. This is all going to be in your hands. When I came out, I knew this was going to happen. It had to happen. Not because I have any disdain for, my spouse at the time. Honestly, it had nothing to do with her. It had to do with me. There was already pain there. I was already hurting. And it was getting harder and harder to keep it under wraps. So the choice had to be made. I didn't have the courage to make the choice myself. So I set that trigger out there. I've talked about that in other videos. I could probably leave a link to one up here where I talk about what took so long. And you can go watch that video. But I set that trigger. When she hit that trigger, I had to pull the pin. That's the way it worked. And I was right. She was devastated. I'm not about to tell her side of the story here, or even to go into any details that would bring up anything about her side of the story. But when you come out later in life, your coming out story is also someone else's. The mourning of this grief isn't easy. It doesn't go away overnight. I would journey to say that mine took years. And it had nothing to do with the way I was acting, or the way she was acting, or the way the kids were acting. It's just that we were all grieving. And everyone has to be allowed to grieve. That's part of the healing process. The grief has to be allowed. I was allowed to have it. I allowed her to have it. Some things you can do to help get through this grieving process is, one, you can allow the grief on both sides to exist. I'm a people pleaser. This to me sounds terrible, to allow someone to grieve. But I'm telling you, it helps. Allow them to make their comments to you. Don't allow them to put you down or disrespect you. But allow them their comments. Allow them their grief. Something else you can do is to be truthful. without cruelty. You can tell the truth without being mean or petty or pointed. Just tell the truth. And be confident with the truth. And be consistent with the truth. All without cruelty. Another thing you can do is take responsibility, but do not erase yourself. These are not easy things to do, but they help. They will help the process. It took me a long time to figure these out. And once I figured them out, mainly the take responsibility without erasing yourself, that was the huge one. That was the missing piece for me. To be truthful without being cruel is not difficult for me. Allowing someone else their feelings and their emotions also is not difficult for me. What was difficult for me was taking responsibility without erasing myself. That was difficult. All in all, I think we did okay. It was rough. I'm not going to lie. Lots of therapy sessions, lots of conversations that carried on for days because they couldn't carry on in the moment. Lots of things were said out of emotion that were later on taken back. That's all part of the process. If you are someone who came out later in life and you're carrying this grief, I want you to know that you're not broken. I also want you to know that this isn't a sign that you're heartless. It's a sign that you're human. And it also means that what you once had mattered to you. Please do me a favor, hit the like button down below. If there's somebody you know that needs to see this, there's a share button down there. You can share it right with them. Don't wait for them to try and find it. Just go ahead and share it right with them. As far as the comments, this is a tricky one. So there's two parts to a comment. I want you to leave a comment down below if you are going through this process right now. Just wave. You don't have to tell us about it. We don't need to talk, but we do need to see who you are so we can help you out. If you've gone through this process, please leave your experiences in the comments down below. Not a whole lot of detail, but let everybody know that there is an out to this. This isn't the end all be all. This really is just part of the process. So yeah, coming out is great. It's a fantastic thing, but there are things that nobody talks about, and grief is one of them. My name is Tim. Glad you met me.